Hyrox, a technical briefing. So this is for the 2024-2025 season. These are just the things you know to make sure you don't make any daft mistakes when you're actually doing your Hyrox race. Before you even start your race, what you need to get first is your arm marked up with your number. That's going to be the time you're racing at, and then your number and your timing chip. So your timing chip's going to go around your ankle, doesn't matter whether it's your left or your right ankle. They're the only things you really need to do before you start. So the other things to go through to make sure that you're doing is make sure you do things in the right order.
Yeah.
As daft as it sounds.
We hear it all the time.
One, make sure you know the order. And then two, if you do anything in the wrong order, you get a 3-minute penalty. If you do anything in the wrong order again, you then get disqualified.
You'll find it easier on the day than you think, to be honest. A lot of it can be in your head, but yeah, you don't want to be disqualified.
Yeah, there's people helping, telling you where to go and whatever, but when you run into the rock zone, we'll come to that in a second, you want to know the track a bit, whether you're going left or right. You'll be able to see. It's all numbered and it's all... With the running, there is a fast lane and there is a slow lane. So stick to your lane and leave space for other people to get past. It'll make things a hell of a lot easier. The running track is around the rock zone, and the rock zone is where all the workouts are. So that's where you've got your ski ergs, your lunges, your wall balls. It's the running track around the outside. The running track will be anywhere between 2 and 4 laps. What's your favourite? How many laps?
2, obviously.
Yeah,
I was going to say 3 for a minute, but cool.
Crazy.
What did you say?
2, 3's 2. 2's easy.
Easier. Let's not say it's easy.
Well, it's easier to count and keep track of than if it's 3
people,
or 4.
Some people use elastic bands around the wrist to count.
Right, okay, here's your tip. That all you need to do to make sure that you run the right amount of laps is, if it's 2 laps, just on your watch, hit the start of your timer when you start your run. Once you've done a lap, look at your watch. If it says 2.5, 3 minutes, unless you are rapid, you've got another lap to do. If it says 5 or 6 minutes, yeah, you're probably time to go in.
Even if you get things wrong, it really doesn't matter, but you'll learn for the next time. But anyway, we're here to make this not happen.
It's your responsibility to keep track of the laps you're doing. There'll be a board that'll come up and tell you how many laps to go, but you have to spot your name quick. You have to see it. It has to be working properly.
I look at the floor.
I wouldn't rely on other stuff. Take responsibility for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And know that you're going to be running about 8.7 kilometres on average.
Yeah, another thing to remember. So when we first did Hyrox, you could actually pass an energy gel. And then they brought in a rule not long after, 6 months later, and you can't pass food, drink or anything like that. I just stuff something in my side pocket. Have side pockets for shorts, take your own things. Again, it's responsibility for yourself rather than relying on
there's drink stations, there's Red Bull stations, there's, I don't know what else there is. I think there's not an electrolyte station.
Yeah, there is now.
So yeah, you can't be past anything. So if you're going to take something with you, plan what you're going to take, and then you need to bring that back with you as well. You can't just chuck it.
I used to just sling it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
I know, but I put it in a pile next to another pile.
So we're going to move on to the workout stations and the movement standards. And the first one that you get to is the ski erg. Ski erg is probably the most simple one, 1,000 meters, and you can change the damper as many times as you want.
Oh, you didn't used to be able to?
No, they've changed it for this season. So before it used to be whatever you put it on, that's it. You can't change it again, I never really knew why you couldn't change it again, but now you can change it as many times as you want. The only thing you need to make sure you do on the ski erg is when you've done your 1,000 meters, you get your tractor judge, you put your hand up.
Do that like me.
There's normally a judge there watching. They're on it. We've never had to wait for somebody to come and check.
No, I'm always, when you're on it, because you're the last one, I'm always eyeing them all.
Well, there's not normally a judge there ready to tell you.
If there wasn't, I'm shouting.
Yeah, I think they're normally on it. So that's the ski erg's probably the most straightforward one. After that one, once you've done the next run, you then come to your sled push. Okay, a couple more things on the sled push. So on the sled push, you're going to do 50 meters in total, and it's always been 4 lots of 12.5. So it doesn't mean you have to push it the full 12.5 meters all in one go. You can push it part and then rest, go again, rest, go again, rest. When you push it though, you do need to make sure you cross the line with a sled. And you'll see sometimes the judges will call people back up, no, finish it, pushing it over. So make sure you push it across and you push it the full way. I don't think we've ever had any issues with the sleds. It is pretty straightforward. Cross the line with it. It's not a case of just touching the line. You need to cross the line. If you miss any lengths, you get a 3-minute penalty.
But the judges are very good now at actually knowing when you started, when you should be finished. So don't be afraid to ask.
If in doubt, ask.
Well, the amount of pressure we put on ourselves. But I don't want a 3-minute penalty.
No, a 3-minute penalty for not pushing it 12.5 meters isn't something you want to be doing.
No.
And then that brings on, after your next run, you do the sled pull, exactly the same, 50 meters. Has to cross the line. The biggest difference on the sled pull is you've got a box to work in where you can pull it.
No.
If you step outside the box or in front of the box, you're going to get in trouble. And the penalties are 5 meter penalty, which you then have to do at the end. Practice that distance in training, what you've got to work with, or you're going to end up with penalties. And I said they are getting stricter and stricter. So the only time you can cross that line is once you've actually pulled that sled fully into that box to then run down the other end and do it another 3 more times. So that then leads us on to the burpee broad jumps.
Know you're in hell, but know that you're halfway there.
Know that it's only 80 meters. They're the hardest ones to pace. You can do a few, then rest a bit, do a few and rest a bit.
That's what we do.
What you have to make sure is each burpee, well, when you start at the beginning, you have to have your hands behind the line and then do a burpee back before you jump forward.
Well, there's 2 lines. There's a pink line and a white line.
Come on, then, tell me what that pink line is for.
They don't even, they want you to be behind the white line.
It's behind the white line. So there's a white line and a pink line.
But it used to be behind both. If you're not sure, if in doubt, go behind both. It's only not even 2 centimetres.
But there's the rules is the white line, you then jump forward. Your chest has to touch the floor on every single one, and with the jump, both feet have to leave the ground together and they have to land together. No shuffling with your feet or taking little steps.
No.
They're strict on that now. It's all a grid system, so they can see way more easily. So, and also when you go to do your step forward, your toes can't pass your hands. But if you violate any of the rules, then they're just going to straight away violate, make you go back 5 meters. If you continue to violate the rules, they're going to move you back again. If you're falling forwards, you will get pulled up on it. So
no stepping, no falling, no pretending, no hovering.
It's the one where there's the most technicalities, because it's the ones where people can probably do things wrong, I suppose.
We've seen it all. But anyway.
After that one, you've then got the rower. That, again, it's like the skier. There's nothing to it. You're going to row for 1,000 meters. You can change the damper as many times as you can. When you're finished, you signal the judge again.
As you want, not as you can.
No, not as you can. Don't keep there. It ain't a game. It's not a game to see how many you can change. Or your partner there changing it all for you. It's not that.
That's funny.
The rules are a bit different if you're doing doubles. The partners have to stand in the behind them in a
little
set
rug
place, and they tell you off if you step out of the rug. So, but 1,000 meters. Do your 1,000 meters. Farmer's carry, 200 meters. You have to keep your arms straight when you do them. You have to have your arms extended while you're carrying them. And the only other thing, really, you can put them down and rest as you're going along.
You can't hook them under your arms. I was thinking, well, what else would you do? But I bet people will hold them.
I don't know. You could carry them like that. But no, you need to carry them by your side. The thing is, you have to just make sure that you do is you put the kettlebells back where you got them from. And what they're strict with is that the handles are pointing up. So you can't just chuck them on the floor and leg it. I think any violations on the farmer's carry is a 30-second penalty. The only other thing you could violate on is if you're shuffling the dumbbells, kettlebells forward when you're placing them on the floor. You're not allowed to do that.
Using the right weight.
You're responsible for picking up the right weight. And that goes for everything you're doing. Things like the sleds, they'll be set up ready for you. The wall balls, they'll be set up ready for you, but still check just in case. But I think if you picked up a 9 and you're supposed to be using a 4, you're going to know about it anyway.
That's very...
Kettlebells and sandbags, though, you need to make sure you pick up the right weight because they're all piled up. So know what weight you're going to be doing when you get to it. So the farmer's carry one then leads us on after the run after that to the sandbag lunges. A few rules on the sandbag lunges. You have to have the bag across both shoulders. You have to pick it up and put it on your shoulders by yourself. You can't have any assistance.
Can't drop it and stop.
If you drop it once, that used to be you get disqualified, whereas they've changed that slightly. Now, if you put the bag down once, you have to go back 5 meters. If you put it down again, you will then get disqualified. So keep the bag on your back. So you have to lunge the whole distance, except where there's the bends, which is quite obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
The bends you can just walk with the sandbag round, and then you start your lunge from behind the line.
So you start your lunge behind the line, over the line. Your first lunge can go over the line. You have to finish over the line.
And your back knee has to touch the floor, and you have to extend your hip up after each lunge.
Why do I keep calling?
So you can't just do little lunges staying low. You have to fully extend up. They're the main rules that are on the lunges. And then the last one after the lunges is the wall balls. Again, there's a few on this one.
8 wall balls.
Right, easy to get no reps on wall balls. One, make sure you hit the right target. If you're a woman, it's the lower one. If it's a man, it's the top one. If you're a woman and you're hitting the top target, that's a no rep.
Yeah.
So you have to hit the target that you're supposed to be hitting, and you have to hit the middle of the target.
The cross bit.
Yeah, if you're hitting the edge, then they ain't counting, and that'll soon build up a lot of no reps if you just keep hitting the edge of it. You have to make sure you squat below parallel so that your hips come below your knees.
Yeah.
If they don't, they won't count. If you're struggling with anything like that, though, the judge will give you a box, and then you'll have to squat down to the depth of the box to then go again. The other thing is you can't, if you throw the ball up, hit the target, then it's on the floor, you can't just rip the ball off the floor and throw it up. The only other thing at the very end, when you finish, you need to return your timing chip, but don't return it until you've had your photos.
That was it.
Photos that'll pick up your time, that'll put it on the screen behind you.
That's pretty cool. Oh, another rule, smile for the camera all the way round.
For some of them.
You have.
So other people will definitely look out for the cameras and get some good photos.
We've got some crackers on TikTok.
Some good ones, some bad ones, and everything in between.
Yeah.
Main thing is you enjoy it. Follow these rules. It'll make everything a lot easier for you. Don't get those penalties and go enjoy your race.